Welcome to Ryan's Garage with Kids. Let's go. Morning, guys. Another day. Ryan's Garage. Working on 418 FE. I don't know, I was running down the road. Had some backfire and blew out the intake gasket. I think what happened was, like a while back, I broke the roll pin on the distributor. If you know anything about these FEs, they're not too bad to work on. It's just the problem is, like, once you give them some high performance, I don't know if they like that. So when I built the 418 stroker out of a 360 block, I've had all kinds of problems when it comes with oiling issues and consuming a quart of oil up every 70 miles. Finally got that ironed out when I changed the the umbrella guides in the valves. I went to like a PC setup and then went from a oiling push rod to a solid push rod. What was happening was flooding the valve covers. So, and then all the oil would go through and burn, essentially. So, now I got that ironed out. I ended up having a high volume oil pump on here, and I think what happens now is everything's running fine. It's not consuming oil. Then it ended up blowing a roll pin because I think the oil pump is, I didn't change the spring in it. Yeah, silly me, right? So just dealing with this, trying to get everything back together. As you can see here, I do have everything tore down. So right now I'm cleaning everything up in the back here, get all that old RTV off, and then we're gonna go away from these Velcro. I think these are like the, I don't know, yeah, they're the 1247s. They fit on there all right, but they get slippery. They don't have the steel core, and they seem to have moved around. Yeah, as you can see, this is the, sorry, I'm gonna sidetrack my Mustang. This is my baby. Took it on Route 66 for the poverty tour. She didn't fare well. So we ended up in a pretty bad wreck in Milwaukee. Everything's kind of pushed and squished, but we'll see what the insurance says about that and go from there. So anyways, back to the truck. So I ended up going with, and I don't see them, some steel core gaskets that I think will be well. Yeah, I don't know where they are, but in any case, you'll see them in a little bit. So all I'm doing here is cleaning the heads, just anywhere where the intake gasket is going to go, getting all the old gasket material off, spraying it down with carefully with brake clean. I also had, like, I don't show it on here, but I used a vacuum with like a little funnel to get the remaining residue of like coolant and stuff out as well. All right, let's see. Looking for, okay, I found those steel core intake gaskets I was talking about. So they're this 90145. So everybody tells me, I think these are the ones that came in that stock gasket kit, but what everybody is telling me that's FE guys, they're like, use these steel core ones, especially if you had your heads decked, and especially if you're using an aluminum Edelbrock, which mine's upside down getting cleaned, intake. They say for the most part it'll sit in there a lot more flush. It's more stable. It shouldn't pop out, because what happened on this last pair, it seemed to stretch right here and popped out up to here this way. Obviously I'm running very high compression. When I just did my last compression check, I was at like 210 pounds. Pretty intense. So this thing's kind of a monster. But for what it's worth, when that backfired, it just tore everything up there. So, yeah, the only other thing I got to do, obviously I took the timing chain cover off. I had a leak coming out of the seal, which I found out was because this. I don't know if you can see in there. There's a Woodruff key. And that guy, for some reason, must have been a little too tall. So what it did, it caught that collar. This guy here, this is a different one. I just had to kind of machine down just a little to get it flat. But it caught the collar and it broke out where the Woodruff key sits. And I think and it cracked. And that's what caused that oil seepage to come through. I don't think it was necessarily the seal. It was just when the engine builder, I had the engine builder do the bottom end, and when he put the Woodruff key in there, I think that he had one just a little too tall. So we're gonna file that down a little bit, and we should be fine. All right. The good news is intake is on. Sorry I didn't film it. I had a buddy helping me, and he didn't want to be on camera, which I am absolutely fine with. So, intake's on, distributor is set in the hole, everything's peachy, intake gaskets look fine, looks like everything's set up okay, RTV's in the right spot, so let's, yeah, hopefully we're good to go here. Alright you guys, sorry about the light, I don't have the best lights yet. So today I'm going to put the rocker arms, push rods back in, and hopefully if I get some time, I'm doing this right after work, if I can get some time, I'll put the timing chain cover back on, water pump to follow, but that might not be in tomorrow morning, so we'll see. So I'm going to throw you on a time lapse and we'll get these push rods back in place and the rocker arms in. So the important thing to remember here is when you're putting the push rods in, even when you take them out, I use a little shoebox and I mark them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, always to 16. That way they go back in the right holes, and everything, you know, with the cam and everything works good. So I'm start putting these in. Use your little flashlight so I can see in the hole. Make sure everything goes in the cup of the lifter. Sucks working on a truck. There's not a whole lot of room. So just make sure that you get it in the cup, or you're gonna have problems. I'm gonna throw you guys on time lapse. You don't need to watch me do one by one here. So obviously, time lapse button didn't work, or I just don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, here we go. So getting this side in wasn't terrible. The other side was literally a pain in the butt. There is the master cylinder and brake booster there. You can't see anything to put those push rods on. So yeah, basically had to like lay across the engine, put my head across, aim a flashlight, and do whatever I can to try to get that thing lined up in the cup. But we got it eventually. All right, so the next part's gonna be fun. I set the roller rocker shaft on there by myself. So it's one of those things where you need octopus hands. And unfortunately, I don't have anybody to help me. So let's see how this goes. Hold this with both ends, fingers on both ends, and don't let these fall apart because they're shimmed. And let me tell you, it sucks putting it back together. Not that I would know, because I would never mess that up. All right, so this is the fun part. This is where you need the octopus hands. Because you gotta get all these flipped around. And you still want it to sit on. You think I did good at this? I've only hit it off like 15 times. So I have a little more footage of me putting this in, but nobody needs to watch me fight putting this thing in for too long. So I'm gonna move forward to the next clip. Go there, so. So you can kind of see in here what I'm doing. The biggest thing is making sure when you put them in there that you're getting everything, nothing's binding, everything lines back in these cups. Like this one's already not, so hopefully I can pull this back up. And I cannot. Anyways, let me keep working on that. There we go. So start drawing these in evenly here, a little bit at a time. When I can find my tools, because you know, I don't know. One thing really nice about working on a 70s Ford F150 is you got this workbench on the side of the truck here. See, works out really good. There we go. All right, I won't bore you with tightening those up. So here we go. Hey guys, so next morning here, getting ready to go to work, but I thought I'd try to get the timing chain cover on. Hard to see, sorry. So just gotta put the gasket around the oil pan down there, and this part I hate. I hate sealing things and putting gaskets together. But anyways, nothing to it, just gotta get it done. So put that timing chain cover on now. All right, good morning. So back on the 76 F-150, unfortunately, since I'm still learning and I still kind of suck at this, I lost the rest of the video footage to putting this thing back together. Yeah, so you can see I still have the tape on the spark plug wires, but anyways, it's together, and it has ran, but we'll do a cold start, and then maybe we can take it for a rip a little later. Pretty nice healthy roller cam in it. It's a fun truck to drive. It gets a little squirrely out there. They're not very fuel efficient at all. On a good day, 9.5, 10 miles per gallon. When they're out there having fun with it, you're looking at 7, 8 miles per gallon. There we go. Got the Ryan's Garage logo on there. Puffing its morning smoke. Oh yeah, she's running pretty good. The other thing I didn't show you, oil pressure is pretty amazing in this thing, so can't complain there. I do have Dakota digital gauges, so 93% fuel. There's my charging. We got about 8,400 miles now since I rebuilt this truck and got her pulled out of the weeds. So it's been a challenging couple of years, I'll tell you that much. This thing does not want to stay running, but this is probably the best summer with this engine. I got a good 5,000 miles on it before that intake gasket blew out on me. So we'll see what happens next year. We'll get ready to take this thing for a rip and I'll show you what she can do. Taking my morning cruise. Got the day off today. Been kind of a rough couple weeks. We'll get into that, but going to get some coffee. Got the 76 F-150 after the intake gasket replacement here. I mean, it's been fixed for a few weeks, but I lost that video footage, so just kind of showing you what she's got here. This thing, she's got some idiom. Fun to drive. Still got the looser suspension, so she gets kind of squirrely at times, but no, she's fun to drive. Yeah, serenity. We'll walk over here to a bench that's very special. This bench was put here by my family in honor of my grandmother. So she passed away, I say, a little over a year ago. She's 94 years old. She lived a great life. So we have this bench in the honor of her and some of her favorite sayings. If you can see that there, it says, "Be kind, teach your children to be kind." 2024 DA for Dorothy Artisana. So that is my grandmother's legacy, you guys. And here's the beautiful shores of Lake Michigan with my, I don't know, my half put together 76 F150 that obviously needs some body work, but I think I love it the way it is. Drive the hell out of it until she falls apart. But here it is, gorgeous views. I know I'm just starting out, and I know I don't have a whole lot of videos, and I don't have the best editing skills. Hang with me, I got a lot of content. I've been doing videos for years, I just never really put them together. So you may see some things that you like, you may see some things that you don't, but please, if you wouldn't mind, give me a like and subscribe. That would be so awesome. Ryan's Garage with kids, Cedar Grove, Wisconsin. Thank you.